お願いします。
お願いします。
Doki. So, using the body, the vertical. Front and back. Yeah. And side to side. Yeah. Okay. Into rotation. And working through the whole spine. What's that? And then just open the whole movements out. Just work any direction. And listen to the body, follow it, and just play a little bit. Yeah. Okay, good. And we're just going to the swing, so just dropping through. Let the arms go. Flexible in the knees. And letting the weight drain down. Up and down. Okay, working the hips. Let's let everything twist over. Keep the arms nice and heavy as you go. Just hit the body and bounce into the next one. And working the shoulders, opening front and back. And let the whole torso open out from the top. And both ways. Okay, I just work the shoulders specifically, so just stretching them out. Hold it there. And start to roll them forward and backwards, coiling through the whole joint, from the shoulder right to the palm of the hand and into the fingers. Coil, release it, coil the other way. And you can do alternating the sides, back and forward, or you can do them together. Wow. Keeping the shoulders down, you're just rolling the elbows. Let the hands just wipe across the face. Yes, and the other way too. And then nice and loose, just coming to the front. The elbows sink down close to the body and then out. And the hands split here. Keep all the time a sense of the back of the body. So try not to get lost in the front. Let the back really open out. Back strong all the time. And then coiling the other way. In, out, in. So as you reach out, the connection to the ground goes really strong. Yeah. Here. Here. And then just let the arms loose across the body. And feel the whole body is involved in the movement. And let the chest open out at the top. And then just stretching it across the front, change. Okay, taking the wrist, stretching up over the top. You're pulling the bicep behind the back of the head. Nice and long. Changing sides. Across the back, stretching it across. And change. Okay, placing the fingers together, stretching it through the back. A few times, release it, pull it on. Let the low back arch as you go. And release it. I'm just working the wrists. And squeezing the palms together. And taking a 𝒍𝒂𝒂𝒕, fingers on the top. Pulsing it on, maintaining the contact over to the other side. Let the whole joint flex through it as well. 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 And change. And thumb over the top. And change. Yeah, to 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂𝒄𝒂𝒄. And change. And taking the fingers. Yes. Yeah, change. And wrapping around. Shionai. And the other side. Yeah. Okay. Shaking the wrist, the legs. And loosen the arms. And the whole body. And then just find a vertical in the body. Slow the movement down. Feel the weight right in the center of the base. And there we go. Okay, take a Geo today. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Good. Hello, Serena. There we go. Okay, just working with the wrist. Do a little bit of 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒖𝒄𝒄 work. So just working, fingers nice and tight, base fingers. Really feeling a spiral being passed through. right from the elbow all the way through the forearm. As much as you can, try and keep the shoulder nice and relaxed. No kind of stress in it. And just watch for the elbow getting kind of stuck out at this point. Just let the elbow sink all the time, like there's a heavy weight attached to it. And alternate in the side. And just change the sides every time. Good. So. Okay, just with 1 foot forward, same foot, same side, just pressing through, finding that extension. So really focusing on, again, a kind of coil through. Don't think so much about just pushing the arm out. Think about coiling through it. So again, really from the elbow in. And in this case, the hip's going to engage into it too. So just let the hip draw the body out. Just put the other hand right on the center, so you can feel again what's happening in the hips. The hand just going to draw towards the center. Out, down, out, down, and put as much emphasis on the backwards movement as the forwards. So. That's it. That's it, that's it, that's it. Nice. Try and feel a little bit, it's like the center's kind of squeezing the arm, the hand out in the jab. So feel that it's a kind of pressure, also not just forwards, but it's a kind of down as well. So feel that the center's also going to coil in and down. So there's a rotation happening through the whole body. So let it kind of sink down. So it's not so much a kind of forward, backwards motion with the hip. It's more a kind of coiling motion like this. The front hip's going to go forward from that motion. So that rather than, in this case, kind of that kind of movement, think that you're doing something like that. 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 And with the judge, just get a little bit of extra feedback for it. That. That. And try them both sides too. Just change the foot. Same foot, same hand. There. And if you want, you can just put the hand on the center. It gives you a little bit of information about what's happening there. 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 Good. Nice, nice, nice. And then just change the foot, change the hand at the same time, just change the feet. So you can do it a few ways. You can do this on the spot. Maybe it's a little bit difficult. So what I tend to do is draw the leg back and then press it forward. Draw the leg back, press it forward. But you can do it kind of drawing the feet together, drawing the back foot. Drawing the back foot. So just experiment a little bit with it. You might find one easier. I find it a little bit easier to get the pull back with the feet coming back in. In. Also just play with it. Don't feel you need to change every time. Again, it's more about the quality of the connection. Then anything else? Always feel this kind of spiraling down, coiling down, coiling down, coiling down. There. The connection should feel very heavy. Let it be very dense. Again, it's this feeling as if you're doing it in a kind of thick, viscous kind of jelly or water or treacle. It's kind of pulling through, drawing back in this way. That's it. Nice, nice, nice. Great. That's it. Good. And then just coming into a figure of 8, so keeping the body in motion. Just let the hips now coil through. So you can do this kind of continuously, or you can just feel that from this position you do like 1, 2, or you can just continue through it. Go 1, 2, 1, 2. The main thing is it doesn't become kind of light, right? Just start to kind of spin the arms. So you really use the feet to draw the jaw through the movement. So feel that it's connecting to the hip. In. Again, you want a kind of heaviness from the body. Again, the hips, the center of the body is really the focus. And the jaw's just there to give you feedback on the structure of the arm. So don't think it's about spinning the jaw around the body. It's more about using the weapon for feedback. Listening to the body. Really looking for balance in the whole structure. All the way through. Into a few one side, change the side, roll it through, roll it through. Nice and calm. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, great. Yeah. So really see if you can allow really the hand, the arm to really express the hip work. So the hip work in this case, what we did before is like that, back, that, in. Now the hip's doing really something very circular and round and spirally. So you're gonna really see if you can allow the handwork to really follow that. If the two things happen, if I fix this connection, so the arm becomes something like that, then this connection won't have that elastic quality. So you want a kind of elasticity in the connection. So again, just play with this. This is where it becomes a little bit more like a whip or a wave, but it's this quality of this. So it's got something a little bit more flexible. So it's a little bit more that. So risk being a little bit, or risk feeling a little bit disconnected, because I've got to basically give up all the tension, which is basically feels that I need to rigidly lock the system together, and risk a little bit like the system's going to kind of really loosen. Feel like again, they're really like these kind of slapping motions. But it needs something very, very, very dense and heavy in the lower body. But let the upper body really, again, expressing the hip. Expressing the hip. Express the hip. Just play with it a little bit. If you want it kind of fluid, elastic, but also really, there's a kind of impact with it as well. It's got a real density to it. Yeah, there we go, nice. Yeah, good. Yeah, and very similar, just a little bit of a variation. You go from this position, rather than going here, you go up, just to this position. So you're gonna, because we're not changing hand, the joint will get locked at this point, so don't go too far with this. Just go up to the top of the head. So just feel this position. The jaw's anchored into the body, and then just release it out. So it just goes up, down, up, down, up, down. And again, really focusing on the hips, the center of the body. The hips sends the jaw in and up, and then draws it down. It's got this kind of quality. You can also really emphasize the a little bit of a wider posture as well in this one. I don't squeeze too kind of shallow with the body, so let the body sink down, draw the jaw up to the top, and then down to the top, draw it down, and feel the jaws really winding through the hips, through the whole spine. That's it. Nice. Whoosh. Yeah, just watching this guy, really trying to think about the central axis of the body. You don't want to go too far with this, so you don't want to go here, where the jaw is basically going to be out of the body, and then it's basically going to go against you'll feel the joint will start to kind of get drawn out, a little bit like someone's doing a shihanagi on you. So when you do this one, let the hand just draw up just somewhere above the top of the head. So it's about coming to this position. So the joint should feel very comfortable at this position. If I feel like it's actually quite tense, then something's gone a little bit, I've gone a little bit too far out of the structure. So just let the structure, let it settle down here. It's right in the center of the body. And then feel it from here. Just goes back to the hip. So think that you're going from the hip to the head. Hip, head, hip, head, hip, head. So it's really all the time the arms working within the structure. I don't want to feel like it's getting dragged out from it. Yeah, there we go, there we go, there we go. Nice. Nice, that's it, that's it, that's it. Great. So we'll just go set with this. So now you're going to change hands. You're going to go in this way. So you go one, and then change. And then as you come up, go above the head, two, back. So you go across, up. And just take them really slow for the first few. One, back, two, back. One across, two above. Cross, above. Across, above. Okay, let the hips lead it. So only go as fast with the hand as you can control the hip. Above, across, above, across, above. There we go. Got it. There we go. Okay. Mm-hmm. And just try this on both sides as well, because it's doing different things on one side. So you go across, up, cross, up, cross, up, cross, up. There we go. Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Great. Good. So working with the 𝒊𝒂𝒏, so you're going to have both hands on the 𝒊. The first one, I know we're used to kind of doing this one above the head. So we'll do this is a slightly different variation from it. It keeps everything a little bit lower. So you just go here, this way, this way. So just be careful with this. Watch the head as you go. Don't go too fast at the beginning. So let it go across, then that goes across there. And just do this on the spot. So you draw the body in, down, down. Again, the key thing is that it's not done in the shoulder. Pressing it down, just let the shoulders settle down here, and you're really working a 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒖𝒊𝒔 movement with the arm. So let the body go in, then weight, weight, weight down, weight down, weight down, right into the body. That's it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so watch, especially now when we do these kind of movements, you don't want the center to start raising out of the ground. So it's easy when you do these kind of movements, the 𝒊's just going to come down, but the body's going to sink down as you do it. When we start to go to these, there's a tendency for this to happen, where the body starts to kind of raise up and then press down. Don't think at all about raising the body, so nothing in the body raises. The body's just going to sink down. So think that the center's going to press through. Think that the best way to think about it is think about the compressions in the feet. So if I really feel the compression in the feet, if I do something like that, I will feel the compression go away. So it will empty the foot. So I'm basically pushing off the ground rather than feeling the connection into it. So really feel it as you go in. Feel that what happens is the weight transfers across the body. This. So you want to feel really a compression through, rather than feeling it going up and over. So really go through the body, through the body, through the body. Just play with it a little bit. You can also do this, play a little bit with stepping. So you've got a kind of motion where you can do like these kind of thing. And you can also draw the body back. Again, just be really conscious about the compressions as you go. Really feel where the movement's going to come from. Yeah. So just play a little bit with it. Moving forwards, backwards on the spot. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, good. Yeah, so it's really important that the action of the hip, so especially the front hip, it needs to be very soft. So in order to go through it, I need to be releasing towards the ground. So just as much as the arms are kind of soft and loose, what you want is the lower body to be loose as well. So the weight's pressing on it, and that's going to give it the structure, but you don't want to tense it. So I don't want to feel at any point that muscle in the front of the hip is tight, because as soon as it is, as I go into the movement, the hip will just move like this. Because this is tight, it will just go something like that. So the structure will kind of ride over the hip rather than through it. So just feel the front of the muscle as you go in. It should be kind of folding in. So that allows me to get this rotation through the core of the body. As soon as I tighten it, it will stick, and then I'll go around it. So again, really just focus on what you want to express the hip work again through the 𝒊. So the 𝒊's going like this, and at the same time, the hip's folding. The hip's kind of folding through it. So there's really a folding in the hip, folding in the hip. Just look at that. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, great, good. So. Great. And then just to this one going above the head now, so let it go up and sink down. Again, just play with it on the spot, drawing into the posture. Again, really crucial now that I don't raise the body up. So let the body just drain down all the time. Should feel very soft, very light in the jaw. No real tension in the body. Yeah. Just let the weight settle into the ground. Settle down. Settle down. Settle down. Here we go. Breathe. Very nice. Nice. Great. We'll just go to some ski patterns. So just going straight into this one. To the front here and then roll into the back. Keep it nice and sharp. So you're thrusting in, pressure into the front foot, rolling to the back. And then find the rotation. One in, one back, and then here. In, back, there. So really something sharp about the movement. Think about it like a spear thrusting through. One, to the back, and then back to position. 1, 2, 3. 1, lovely. 1, whoosh. Nose down. Good. Yeah, just focus really on the compression. So in this one, you've got the compression's going to come from the back leg, pressing in this way. And then from this position, you've hit the base. What you do is press right into the front foot. So then the compression's going to come from here across the body. So it goes back this way. And then from here, you find the base. And then to get to the back, you compress into this foot, release it to the back this way. So just focus on this kind of compression. You do this both sides. Feel the back, feel the front, and then right to the back this way. Really feel those compressions. That's what the way you feel these compressions is what's also going to help you later when we come to kind of free motion or when we go to a little bit faster motion. Really feeling those compressions are very direct into the ground. So compress, move, compress, move, compress, move. So that's kind of directly feeding into the motion. So don't think so much that it's a push down. It's just a compression release, compression release, compression release. So the skis have a kind of quality of releasing out, 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 there. There we go. Nice. Very nice. Good. Great. Okay, now working the sets ski and then 2 yokomen. So you do this both sides. The first, start in the left side, thrust in, you go straight into it. So it's a hayagaishi yokomen here, and then taking a step here. From here, just rotate to the back. So don't change the hand. Just open the hands up. And then you thrust on the right side. Keep the hands as they are. Left, right. And then as you go here, change the grip. So you go to the back to the left side. So the change only happens right at the end. So it goes 1, 2, 3, over, don't change. 1, 2, 3, change. And just take them nice and slow. You've really got now a weight coming forward into the body. Press, strike, strike, change. Okay, it's a bit of a tricky one. This time you do I'll show the set. So you've got it. So you go ski, hayagaishi, draw it back, gerangaishi, here, complete back, and then you rotate to the other side. And then you go right side, you go ski, yokomen, and then from here, find your shiroski here. Rotate to the back again, and then rotate back to the front. So it's going to go like this. You start left side, you go ski, jorangaishi, gerangaishi, and then rotate to the back, ski, yokomenuchi, shiroski, back to the base here, and then rotating back to the start this way. That's on the left side. So you do 2 different sides. So the left side you do ski, yokomen, gerangaishi. The right side you do ski, yokomenuchi, shiroski. Goes like this. So just give it a try. Don't worry too much if you get it kind of mixed up. Just introduce these strikes into it. Gerangaishi, shiroski, goes to here. We go to that. See? Oh, yeah, I can do that. Whoosh. Okay, just focus now, again, a little bit more flexible. Focus on these transitions. So when you do now this one, it goes here, this into this, and then this right through. Ooh, don't drop the jump. Goes like this. One, draw it back with the hip, and then send the hip in. Okay, it's got that's the same kind of quality we were doing before with all this kind of rotating turning movement. Let the hip really drive the jaw through, and then the same on this side. You've got ski. This flies it straight back, and you can come through. So you can break this down, do it as a whole set, but just focus on that again. This transition from the striking movement into this movement, and on the other side, this movement back. So just think about again this grounding, settling the body, and then sending it straight back. So you're going to kind of feed off the strikes. This, or this goes straight into it. So again, just really focusing on the compressions. If you want to make this really easy, just start from a Gerengashi or a Yokomen, and either find a Gerengashi or find a Ushiroski. Don't worry about the whole set. That's it. That's it. Okay, just go back to this very original pattern. So the ski, Shido ski, and then back. And just again, working on that kind of flexibility. So a much simpler pattern now. The hips are basically just traveling in, that, and then rolling back. But see if you can get it now a little bit more flexible. It's a bit like a kind of pinball. It goes boom, goes like this. So when you do it, it goes like this. So what's going to hinge it all together is the hips from the center. So the moment I'm working out from the center, it's going to kind of wobble all over. So keep a real kind of density in the center. Yeah, and send the jaw out, bring it back, and then bring it back. It goes out, goes out, back, center. Out, back, center. Out, back, center. There. So it's something really quite contained if you do it, but the jaw's going to do a kind of big extended movement. The main thing with this is it doesn't become light, totally light within the body. So the one to focus on is this Shido ski back and draw back to center. So if you want, break this down into two parts. So you've got this, and then really feel that this is one motion. So you've got the thrust in, and then really feel the connections thick as it goes back. So you've really got this feeling of drawing back into the center. So it goes here, and then feel that you go all the way through. Goes all the way through. So feel that again, it's got this kind of quality. This, but I don't want it to be kind of light as it goes. So really work on a sense of density. This kind of quality, something very heavy. Actually, it's very thick. Something very thick. You don't want to be too heavy. You don't want to feel like a blob. You want to feel like a big, coiled, thick, ropey, sinewy, muscular thing. There we go. There we go. Right. Very good. Okay, we'll just do few minutes just with the open hand. So just focusing on this. So obviously, when we do the Bokken work, really focus on this kind of koki. Do all these kind of movements that we do here. The Joe work really has this focus on this kind of spiral out from the hip. So working with the hip much wider and getting the hip in. So just focus from here, both hands here, and focusing on the hip, really pressing the hip through. Pressing the hip through, pressing the hip through. Just start nice and easy, just the foot down, and just focusing at this kind of coil that happens through the whole joint structure. Shoulders nice and released, and the structure of the arms really going to pass a spiral through from the hip. So pressing in, coiling into the ground this way. Let's play with it, both hands together with the hip. Try and think that it's really like a multi-dimensional. So it's not in a way like that, or it's not in a way kind of just coming to the side. Really think that it's going to come this way. So it's really got the quality. That spiral is really going to be passed from the forearm. So this comes in. So again, this relationship between the hip and the elbow is always going to be shifting. So it's always going to be elastic. So imagine that quality. It's always connecting the hip to the elbow. But you've got to feel a little bit like there's an elastic structure behind it. There is an elastic structure in it. It's your body. But feel that there's something elastic in it. It's not a kind of straight line connection. So it's something much more, something a little bit rounder. There. That's it. Good. And just take that same structure now. You go from this position. So you're using the same movement, but you're going to press from the back leg and then roll into it here. You come into this classic rotadori position. So you've got this same spiraling pattern, but coiling now really into the ground. So really get this sense again. The forearm's going to pass through two big spirals. And the body's passing a big spiral into the ground. So they both go together. Go. Go. Goes into that. That's it. Ah, okay, yeah. Huh. Yeah, it's a bit like the joke. What you don't want to do is something like this. I don't want to fix it and then press it in, fix it, push it in. So it would be like doing like this with the joke. I put the position and I do it something like that. But no, what we do in the joke is something it's a little bit different. So you've got this kind of flexibility, and then it snaps into place. So we're always working with this kind of flexible structure through the movement. So think that when you're in motion, the arms are nice and soft. So there's a relaxation happening through the structure. And then when you get to this position, the structure is going to come on strong because it's going to basically hit the base this way. But it's not about getting a structure and then trying to push it through. Think about that you're actually passing through it, passing through the structure. So all this movement up to here is very, very soft. And then here it solidifies into the movement. So we'll just take the next step from the Morotodori, you go here and keep this nice and supple. So it goes in and then here, find the ground. Pressing through, find the ground here. So again, it's nice and soft in the arms. There's nothing really fixed in it. So don't think that you're passing a solid structure through it. You're passing motion through the structure. So you're trying to pass motion through it. Again, you're trying to pass something really dense and heavy. The heaviness is going to come from the ground. The flexibility is going to come from your body interacting with the ground. Just play the last few. Yeah. So really passing a flexible motion through the whole body. Nice, nice, great. There we go, nice. Good. And then just play with it really flexibly, so into one movement. So really feel that now it's just one thing rolls all the way through. In that relationship to the ground, the structure draining down and the limbs being very soft, but the structure is now really engaged behind it. Again, think about those moments in the Joe movements when you're really snapping into position. It's got this kind of quality. Again, the interaction with the ground through the whole structure. Goes into it. Knows that. Whoosh. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Nice. Yeah, in a way, it's a bit symptomatic of too much static training in a way. So just watch this. What you don't want to do is get to position and then start again. Really feel that this motion carries into this. So it's going to wave into it. This. So it's really the connection's a matter of timing. So catching the feet in at the right point. So if I'm too late with the feet, I'll get to the position, the hands stop, and then I collect the foot, and then I go with it. But just feel all the time that the feet are connecting into the hand root. This. So the hand's gonna follow the hip. So the hip needs the feet to be in the right position to catch the motion. And it's this kind of quality. Yeah. And it's a quality in the body, not so much a technique. So it's just there. And think about how you use the jo going from a static kihon into a much more flexible movement. It's not just about speeding it up. Something shifts. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Great. Very nice. Great. We'll stop that. We'll bow out. Very good. よし、どうもありがとうございました。
どうも、ありがとうございました。
Great, thanks very much.
Yeah, great stuff. Thank you, Michael.